Jai Shri Ram. Today, day 14th of Ramayana recitation. Till now, Lord has blessed me to come before you every day and narrate Ramayana. Going ahead, the same God would grace me, would bless me to continue this Ramayana. In case there is some break, I will be coming back to complete it. Might be, it might not be completed within the duration which we have specified, but of course, I will ensure that I complete it. Yesterday, we saw how Ravana kidnapped Devi Sita for his evil intentions. He had the lust as well as the revenge in him, who wanted to see destruction of Rama. The so-called learned Ravana was actually the most illiterate because he was ignorant. He has done the biggest mistake of his life. Bhagwan Ram will punish him. But again, Bhagwan Ram was on this earth in a human form. So he has to go through all the pains and agony which each of us goes through in our day to day life. But in this case, this agony, this pain of seeing your wife been kidnapped by a demon will cause huge pain for Bhagwan Ram. Let's see what happens when Bhagwan Ram and Lakshman comes to know that Sita Devi has been kidnapped and how they come to know. Now we shall revert to Rama's bewilderment. It was only when Maricha fell dead that he realized he was duped. Lakshmana was right in the warning he gave. The worst part of the trick was that the dying demon called out for Sita's and Lakshmana's help, imitating the voice of Rama. Here he was therefore filled with concern about the developments in ashrama. He hastened homeward, cogitating upon several possibilities that might have happened. Presently, Lakshmana made his sorrowful appearance. Rama was shocked to see him alone because he had told Lakshmana not to leave Sita. But at the same time, Sita was very much clear that Lakshmana had to go and protect his brother. Why have you left Sita unprotected and come here? Asked Rama. The younger one answered in tears, what else could I do, brother? Hearing the semblance of your voice for help, she urged me to hasten. I remonstrated no harm would take place to you. She charged I had sinful design both on you and her. I swore I was innocent. She threatened she would die if I do not run to your rescue. So I am here. Will we see Sita again? Rama was worried. The brothers hurried homeward. They saw the ashrama empty. They called out to Sita. They ran hither and thither, hoping against hope to see her. Alas, she was lost. She had gone. Rama sank in despair. The Rakshasas had eaten her up. Rama became stupefied. Bhagwan Ram, talking like a normal human being. He thought he has lost his wife. Losing a near one can bring tears, can destroy the best of them. But yes, for this was an initial reaction. Bhagwan Ram, who was God's own avatar on earth, would come back strong and will work towards attaining what for which he has come on earth to establish dharma. Lakshmana infused life into him. He said, despondency never pays. A resolute man conquers fate. He makes the impossible possible. Let us make a diligent search in the forest. We are likely to get some clue. The two brothers went around everywhere calling out Sita's name, but there was no trace of her. They intently looked at a herd of deer as if appealing to it to give some inkling of Sita's whereabouts. All the innocent animals looked up to the sky and moving southward. The brothers also went in that direction. Very soon, they came across Jatayu, the heroic vulture king, with blood stain all over. Jatayu was already injured. He was about to die, but he waited for Rama's arrival so that he can guide them and tell them what had happened to Sita. He ensured he could take the pain of his wings got cut by Ravana. The pain was unbearable, but more important was to ensure Bhagwan Ram, to whom he revered from early days, was informed about the fate of his beloved wife. The brothers, the first thought that flashed in Rama's mind was that the creature was a demon involved in Sita's death. But the sinking bird gathered up his failing energy, made Rama understand who he was, and gave an account of his enraged encounter with Ravana. The loud wailing of Sita woke me up from sleep. I found the wicked Ravana carrying her away captive. I charged him with cowardice and shamefulness for a warrior king to steal a woman during the absence of her husband. But the demon proved callous to right conduct. I pounced on him and found beak and talons against the sharp weapons. I edged against me, my wings and claws were cut off. The captive Sita pleaded with me to convey the mishap to you. I kept alive to fulfill that mission. Search and find her out. You will kill Ravana and regain Sita. With this word, Jatayu breathed his last. From the day of his contact with Rama at Dandaka forest, this royal bird had assumed a fatherly attitude towards him. He gave up his life in the cause of the captive Sita. The loss was keenly felt by the brothers. They cremated Jatayu's remains and performed obsequies exactly in the manner in which they would have done to Dashratha if they had been present at Ayodhya when he died. Now, with a ray of hope that Sita might be alive, they penetrated the dense forest and moved southwards. Fortitude fluctuated in the two brothers now and then. When Rama grew despondent, Lakshmana would infuse courage and perseverance in him. When Lakshmana became dejected, the Rama would cheer him up. Thus they helped each other. That's what we tell that Bhagwan Ram and Lakshman were one soul in two bodies. They were inseparable, right from childhood. As the brothers were feeling their way through the forest infested with wild animals, they came across a strange monster. It had no neck and head. The broad mouth with sharp and protruding teeth was located in the stomach. The wagging teeth was displayed now and then. It owned only one eye on the chest. Fearful was the piercing look of the eye. It had no legs to move, but the two hands could be stretched to any length to prey upon birds and beasts. The hideous creature caught hold of the brothers on either hand and was at the point of gulping them. But they were quick enough to cut and sever the hands of that dreadful creature. The monster too was immediately released as of a curse by Indra because of a bad conduct. Regaining the form of wisdom, the creature asked if the assailants were Rama and Lakshmana. Getting a positive reply, the creature said, "Set my body on fire and I shall do a good turn to you." The wish was carried out. From the blaze, the crackling fire, there emerged a radiant figure known as Kabandha. He pronounced, "Rama, you will regain Sita. Proceed to the banks of beautiful Pamba. Adjoining it is the rock Rishyamukha. On it lives Sugriva. Make friendship with him. He will render the needful help to you." The instruction finished, Kabanda ascended into heaven. So again, Rama became the reason to give moksha to this particular Rakshasa who was who got into this body of this demon because of curse. Rama and Lakshmana now moved in the direction of Pamba and reached it. It seemed like a dreamland because of its luxuriance. The sage Matanga's ashram was in that region. The brothers went in there only to find it empty but for a solitary figure in the person of Shabari. The rishi and the retinue had attained perfection through spiritual discipline. Remaining further body bound was no more necessary for them than it was to the ripe cucumber to the creeper bound. But the Kulapati of the ashrama directed Shabari, the yogini, to wait on earth for the arrival of Rama, pay homage to him with fruits, and then to cast off the mortal coil in beatitude. The honor and privilege was given her because of her spiritual excellence, though she was born of low parentage. Shabri, was, Shabri, who was given to prayer and meditation, intuited it was Rama who had arrived with his brother. She worshipped the divine brothers to her heart's content and received their blessings before she attained mukti. The next and most imperative work of the brothers was to find out Sugriva in that locality. On that concern, they left Matanga ashram and moved about the Pamba, the heaven of peace, the harmless home of birds and beasts, the soul elevating flower garden on earth. It was no wonder that Matanga Maharshi chose this locality as the site for his ashrama. Communing with the divine was as much possible here with the senses open as it was possible with the senses shut out. So here we come to the end of Aranyakandam. The search for Devi Sita continues. Rama, as a warrior king, would ensure that he establish dharma, and for that he will take the help of various blessed souls who were designated to help him during this particular fight against Ravana. So may it be Sugriva, Hanumanji, Vibhishan, all of them were destined to become part of Bhagwan Ram's team who would fight against the devil called Ravana. So, going ahead, we will start with Kishkinda Kandam, very important phase in Ramayana, which will see Bhagwan Ram reaching closer to Lanka and get back his wife by defeating the arrogant Ravana. I take leave and I pray that I can come back to start with the new chapter. Jai Shri Ram.